You're not, unfortunately. We have some predetermined questions, and hopefully I'll be able to ask some of the questions that might be in your head. I hope so.
The notion over the last several years coming from Trump and those who follow him, meaning people like who he's running with, not his voters, but just others. The notion that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down is just wrong-headed.
Possibility that we might have a second black president in a couple of months. What do you think about that?
I didn't know there was a black president on the ballot. Who are you talking about?
Some might say Kamala Harris would be the...
Some might say that. What does Black America say?
What does Black America say?
Black America says that Kamala Harris's mother is an East Indian. Kamala Harris's father's father is a white slave owner.
That's right.
Kamala Harris's father, who's a Marxist and a communist, is who taught Kamala Harris. If you're going to put a black person in the White House, don't shame us by giving us somebody who's really of another identity and just has dark skin. Barack Obama was another example.
What's going on, everyone? It's also Kenny, and you guys all from the intro. Kamala Harris, you know, she had a town hall recently. I think it was yesterday at the time of me recording this video. And it was staged, right? Like, oh, we got pre-screened questions. Oh, we'll try to guess what you're saying in your head. There's no way you can guess what someone else is thinking. It's impossible. Humans are good at judging action, not intentions. If we were able to read people's minds, there would not be a need for polls, right? And you saw the word salad that Kamala Harris finished spewing, right? And then in the final clip, the third part of the clip, I showed you how, you know, some black Americans, I will consider them more of like the black pride type of people. They highlight how, in their belief, and I agree with this sentiment too, we still don't have a black person. We never had a black person. We had two biracial people running for office, right? Obama won, first biracial president. I'll give him that, but he's not the first black president. And I have that same sentiment because, end of the day, I don't believe in the one-drop rule. I don't believe in this white supremacist idea that if you have 1% of you that is black, you can identify as black because you're socialized as a black American. And even on that point, neither Obama or Kamala Harris was socialized like a typical black American, right? If we're going based on the narrative that the Democrats like to spew out here. And I want to point out something from Tariq Nasheed. Now, I don't agree with Tariq Nasheed because he claims himself to be a foundationally black American descended from slaves. So this is his argument. Have you all noticed that the only black men passionately supporting Kamala Harris are sassy but broken dudes who secretly hold resentment towards the black society? I mean, right? And these same black liberals, he's talking about black liberals here, black Democrats, right? Because black conservatives they just have a different approach of how to solve the problems in the black community. And I find it funny how they're downplaying essentially the black vote that is going against Kamala Harris, right? They're doing all these shaming tactics, all these guilting tactics. I hear Kamala Harris went to church after she finished just telling a crowd member who said that Jesus is Lord, that this is not the rally for you, right? Kamala Harris is making a lot of mistakes. And you're going to hear a segment in this Fox News segment with Byron Donalds. These black women trying to blame if Kamala Harris's lose is because of sexism and racism. Let's take a look.
Apparently, they're already laying the groundwork to explain a Harris loss on election night. Blame white people.
What I think is a mistake is to let white folks escape the accountability that they must face for not showing up to save democracy themselves. It's time for white folks to turn their ire and their attention to each other to ensure they also do their part.
Joining me now, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, now first Obama blamed sexism. Now media types are blaming white folks. So I guess they think what, they can shame people into voting for her?
They're going to try to shame people, but they should be ashamed of themselves. The Kamala Harris record has been a disaster. Everybody knows that. Immigration, our economy, foreign policy. I'll give you another one that is resonating when you talk to voters around the country. This radical transgender movement that's taking puberty from children and hiding it from parents. That radical stuff, putting men and women sports, these radical ideas from Kamala Harris and the radical left, that's what they should be ashamed of. But unfortunately for them, the American people look like they're going to elect Donald J. Trump because he has a recipe for our country to be successful. So they can blame whoever they want, but they have to blame themselves first.
If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. But you see the baffling, like here's my take on it, because I'm seeing a lot of people, typical Democrat, always using their identity as an alibi, always using racism, sexism, some type of ism as an alibi to excuse their lack of competence, their lack of ability, their lack of talent, their lack of decision making, honestly, to excuse their incompetence. Like, end of the day, Kamala Harris is not doing anything new here. 2019, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I predicted this is what was going to happen. I said, in 2020, her campaign crumbled, collapsed. She didn't even make it to a primary vote. And you uplifted someone with that skill set who has no proven track record of actually able to campaign when she manages her own campaign to lead it in a direction that was successful. But you want to put the same person to lead our country? You see how Kamala Harris is running her campaign? That's exactly how she's going to run America, to the ground. Because Kamala Harris is superficial. All she is for show. She has never once personally claimed that she was black, right? If I wanted to go the identity politics route, to me, it don't matter. But for the Democrats, they love to use identity to their advantage, even if it's in a superficial way. They like to look good, but not actually be good. They want to look black, but not actually be black. That is the criticism that some black Americans, many black Americans, I will say, a large minority of them will think, has against Kamala Harris. Her surrogate says she's black, but she never stated she was black. She has stated she was Indian, though, right? And this is end of the day, Democrats, people of your most loyal voting group is asking that question, right? And to summarize my point here, to bring it all home, if Kamala Harris lose, it's not because of racism, it's not because of sexism, it's because she pushed a vision of America that we know would not be successful. You want to put all these government, we want to spend this amount of money. I read her platform. I want to give this amount of money. I want to give this amount of money. I want to give this amount of money. I use this example a lot. Kamala Harris, during I think it was the American Rescue Plan, something for infrastructure. You have $42 billion to use to create broadband internet for rural America. Have you started on that yet? No. So you just got $42 billion sitting there doing nothing when they were so appropriated to create broadband internet in rural America. Instead, you're using it for climate change initiatives. You're using the money for something it was not for. And you haven't even started on the thing the money was allocated for. And you expect me as a voter to believe you when you say you can put all this money for affordable housing and other stuff? And this is what I'm saying. They just want to show. They want to look superficial. They want to look good instead of actually being good. And I think this is why many people prefer Trump, because Trump say who he is. Trump is very upfront, whether you like him or not. He's just himself. We know he ain't trying to lie to us. He ain't trying to. He may exaggerate some things. He may misspeak. Right? I'm using the same terminology as the Democrats, but people trust him. And I'm gonna show you an example of why, as a voter, I will trust Donald Trump more than Kamala Harris, because when Donald Trump realizes he's wrong about something, he's willing to admit it in front of voters, not the media, because the media, he knows the media will spin it and try to destroy him, because I already pointed out on this channel, the media covers Donald Trump 87% of the time negatively. So he's not trying to give them more ammo. But when he's with just the voters, you see a different side of Trump. And I think I respect that a lot about Donald Trump. Let's take a look.
So you would ask one question.
What is one thing that you probably feel like you didn't do in your first term that you feel like you could do better now?
I'll tell you the one thing, because I did, look, we had the best economy with the best border. We had so I did a lot of good stuff, rebuilt the military. It's all about people. I got to get the right people. When I went there, I won. 92% of the presidents, 92% for the whole history of our country were politicians. 8% were generals. No admirals. 8% were, that's it. That's 100%. 92 and 8. They were politicians and they were generals. General Washington, et cetera, et cetera. George Washington. Thank you. You're doing very good at that. I'm just going to sign this. I
got longer arms than you.
Yeah, you do have longer arms. So here's what we do. We take all of that and we come, and here comes Donald Trump down the line. And so it's about people. It's all about people. I went to Washington 17 times in my entire life. So I wasn't a Washington person. I was a New York person. So when I went to Washington, all of a sudden I'm standing in the White House opposite the Lincoln bedroom. And I said, man, this is so amazing. But I didn't really know too many. So I had to rely on people to give me recommendations for people, to run agencies, to be secretary of this, secretary of that, all big stuff. And I didn't know anybody. I had to rely. And I still did great. Look, we rebuilt the military. We knocked out ISIS. We did all these things. We did great. We had the best economy. We had the best everything. Everything was good. But I had some people that, if I had it to do again, I wouldn't have used. Now I've been there 4 years, plus another 4 that I'm sort of there in a way. I know the best people. To me, it's all about people. You got to have the right people. We have the best people lined up. We're going to do a great job.
That was a real answer. Real answer. Right? And that's why I would vote for him. That's why I would vote for Donald Trump just from that segment right there. I would vote for Donald Trump just from that. Because like imagine that. Kamala Harris, if Kamala Harris did something like that, like let's say Kamala Harris sat down and she said, hey, look, this is what Joe Biden did wrong. I think this is what Joe Biden did wrong in his administration. Here's what I would do differently. She would have a lot better chance than she's doing now. But instead, she don't want to throw Joe Biden under the bus. In my view, is not throwing someone under the bus. It's just telling the truth about what they've done. Like if my son, let's say this is my kid. If my kid did something bad, I'll point out how my kid did something bad and how he can improve. It's not throwing someone under the bus to be honest about the reality and the results that was produced from their policies. But she can't do that because every bill that Joe Biden had signed, she in some way had some part into doing that, either being the tie-breaking vote that allowed the bill to pass. Kamala Harris did that 33 times. I think she has the highest, if not one of the highest, tie-breaking votes from a vice president in history. She's one of the most powerful vice presidents in our recent memory, in modern politics today, because she was more involved with pushing the agendas of Joe Biden. This is why she's not willing to throw Joe Biden under the bus or tell the truth about the economy, tell the truth about the border crisis, right? She's talking about how she's not Joe Biden. Yeah, sure, you're not Joe Biden because Joe Biden didn't make 33 tie-breaking votes to pass these bad bills that end up causing inflation for us. One of the biggest taxes is that, not even called a tax, inflation. When the government spends money that it creates, it is transferring part of the value of your money to themselves. Thomas Sowell. This is the results of government benefits. This is the results of government spending. So when she does all these, when she became these tie-breaking votes for all these policies that she passed, you wonder why we're in the mess where we're in today. And instead of acknowledging that, acknowledging the concerns of the voter, she brushes off and she dismisses it. She said, no, you don't need to worry about that. Nothing to see here, folks. Right? And then, just to end off my other point, right? Kamala Harris, we always hear how sexism, men don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. This is why men don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. Pay attention to who Trump gives the mics to versus who Kamala gives the mics to. So here's Antonio Brown. I think that's Levy and Ball, right? 2 retired, I think, NFL players, if I'm not mistaken. And then look at who Kamala Harris gives the mic to, right? Because
Hey, how are y'all doing?
This is the same party about representation, right?
All right. My name is...
It goes back to what I pointed out in the beginning with Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed said, hey, you notice the dudes that be supporting Kamala, they kind of sassy. You guys know what sassy is. They kind of sassy. But black women here, sorry, not black women. Sorry, guys. Sorry, black women. Black liberal women, they out here wagging their fingers. Wagging their fingers at you. Oh, why you voting for Trump? Breakfast Club just did an interview with Laura Trump. It was great. She destroyed them, in my opinion, right? Here's a guy. He's not a felon, right? He calls out the hypocrisy of the black woman, right? She said, oh, y'all don't want to vote for a felon, but y'all make felons your fathers. I was like, ooh. Right? Men are tired. Like, you ain't gonna do the same thing, voting for the same party over and over and over again and expect a different result. You can't make me vote for someone because you hate someone else. That's some girl-ish. Sorry. That's some girl-ish. Oh, I don't like her, so you shouldn't like her. What? I don't like Donald Trump, so you shouldn't like Donald Trump. Yeah, Democrats love to play the sexism, racism game. But if you hear some of the commentary from a lot of these progressive, liberal types, they use racism to justify not voting for Donald Trump. Oh, he a white man. What a white man can do for you. Oh, you think people of different skin colors can't benefit from an administration led by someone of a different race from your own? Isn't that racism? But we let black people spew this crap openly. And then when they get confronted on that, they want to say, oh, I can't be racist because I'm black, using racism to defend racism. Make it make sense. Because of your skin color, you say you can't do something. So if I say you can't be an engineer because you're black, you're gonna call me a racist. But you say you can't be racist because of your skin color. Make it make sense. But this is the kind of mental gymnastics we do, right? We got, Kamala Harris, right? She's talking about how the DOJ under her, she passed these directives. She's not corrupt. And then recently, Fannie Willis' lover, Nathan Wade, admitted to meeting a White House official before his case against Donald Trump. An appearance of collusion at least merits investigation. But this is why I say I call the Democratic Party the party of projection, right? So yeah, needless to say, the town hall was a wreck. I think Kamala Harris did not really help her chances with the town hall, and I guess that's the video because there's nothing else to say. The election, 15 days from now, we're gonna vote. There's some election concerns like Michigan having more voters or more ballots than registered voters, right? So that's the whole thing going on right now. Media's trying to run cover for that. But end of the day, I'll say vote. It don't matter. Vote. Job's not finished. Vote. At least it's better to go down trying something, doing something, than sitting back and doing nothing. Because you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. And I implore everyone to take your chances. Vote. Because hey, look, Kamala can't win, bro. I'm just being honest, bro. Seeing how her campaign collapsed, I have no trust, no belief that we'll have good outcomes with her being president. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.